Welcome to another Raw Talk. There's going to be a link down below in the description box, as always, to credit WWE for piecing this together just for me. Jey Uso opens up the show, calls out his brother, in which Jimmy and Solo came down to the ring. Jey wants his brother back. You can actually watch the promo, which is what's really cool. It's like I can't show it to you, but the highlights are there. It was really good, and despite being backstabbed by his brother Jimmy, costing him the belt and all this kind of other stuff, he just wants him back. So that was cool to see. But Jimmy, his promo here was probably one of the nicest he's done in a while, just from the facial expressions, the body language, the things that he was saying. Like, it was really good. I was like, wow, it kind of caught me off guard there. Not that I didn't think he had it in him. Remember, there's a lot of times where a superstar is able to shine a lot brighter than you will ever know, but they don't have the opportunity to necessarily showcase it. One of those examples is Cody Rhodes. I never, with all due respect to him, in a million years, back when he was the dashing Cody Rhodes, or when he was with Legacy with Orton and Ted DiBiase Jr., I just didn't know that that was in him because he never did it. So how am I supposed to know you could do something if you don't showcase it? So this was really good. And it ends up in a small brawl before Cody coming out to his aid, which is always really nice because the two of them are pretty close. Backstage, Adam Pearce is yelling again on the phone, interrupted by Paul Heyman, in which he wanted to apologize, saying, you know what, Jimmy and Solo went out on their own accord. He didn't authorize it. The Rock didn't authorize it. Roman Reigns didn't authorize it. Now we had this match, which is just not normal. Really, really not normal. DIY versus the Creed brothers. Where have they been? I haven't really seen them too much as of late. But sweet holy pineapple, can they just do moves that are just not normal? Both are just very incredible at what they do. I can totally see them, someday being tag champions. I really, really could see that. DIY, however, or DYI, as Cole said, and he didn't correct himself because I don't think he caught himself in the moment. They're going to go to WrestleMania 40 now. DIY, and they're going to be a part of the six-pack ladder match. Yeah. Andrade backstage. We'll get into this in just a moment there. Andrade backstage with the Judgment Day. It's kind of hard to say what they have planned for him. They were poking fun. Well, not Andrade, but Judgment Day, a.k.a. JD. Get it? Judgment. JD was making fun of JD for losing, and then they put it all on Dom and said, that's okay, you'll make things right. And he's like, oh boy. Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell versus Caden and Katana. We already know what I think of Caden and Katana. They're great, but it looked like Katana had tweaked her knee at some point, and in typical Poison Pixie heel fashion, Candice LeRae, I only know her name now because I forgot it for a moment. I just had to look right here. Viciously attacked her and basically said, forget it. Attacked a leg. Picked up the victory, rather. So yeah. This was like a nice match, but it was a little quick, but whatever. I mean, not everything has to be 15, 20 minutes long, like The Rock's promos and concerts, but it'll be interesting to see. I think it was scripted, the knee thing. At least I hope so, because in that moment, you can't really remember everything, because sometimes they'll communicate in the ring and they'll tell you like what they want to do. But if there would have been like a real potential injury, I don't think she would have done that. Like if the ref would have thrown up the X sign, you've seen the ref do this. Like when they do that, they'll never do that scripting. That's like, back away because things are going hog wild here. All right, this was just wow. You need to, well, actually, don't watch the clip from WWE because I don't know what the rules are when it comes to censorship and stuff like that and swearing. But I mean, I watched it when he called Rock Little Dick Syndrome. Make sure you bring that Dwayne Johnson energy, not that Little Dick Syndrome. Like, that was just like, oh my God. Because you don't really expect that from Cody Rhodes, who's so Shakespearean and poetic. And then on WWE as well, but with the bitches and the little dicks and all that, we're starting to get a little feisty with the language, which to me, I personally love it. Overlaced profanity is unnecessary. This ain't a Joe Pesci, Al Pacino movie. I almost said Al Capone. Because then it removes the oh my God factor of it. But this to me was just amazing because you have a guy here, Cody Rhodes, who can be vulnerable, show emotions, and cry, and then pull this off. No crying, just real raw promo. Words that cut you like a knife. And yet he somehow never comes across as less than a man, in my opinion. He's just absolutely incredible. To me, he like literally went toe to toe with the great one on the mic. He really, really did that, and it didn't take him 20 minutes. Just saying. I am just saying. I lost my shit when he said that. Called him a whiny bitch as well. Paul Heyman eventually came out and says that Roman will come Friday so long as Cody's on his own. Why does that even really matter? It makes no sense, like as if Roman's concerned about Cody potentially bringing Seth along. Remember, they're the baby faces, right? They're not just going to like jump him from behind or pounce on him. So, I don't know. I'll have to see what happens there. And whoops. I almost lost my spot. Can't have that. There we go. You can see the handshake there. It says it's a deal. We'll get to this in a minute. Backstage, Nia Jax goes on about wanting to break Becky's face again. And I'll be honest, there is a part of me that wouldn't mind seeing Nia versus Rhea in a match. But I'm kind of like equal on that. Like, I know I've been like, oh, Nia, and but always know, unless I'm talking about Ryback, anything I ever say is never personal. I don't like everybody equally. It's not anything anybody has done wrong. You know what I mean? Like, it's you can't always put it into words why it's like Ricochet. Which is fitting because, you know, he's right there. Actually, we'll get to that in a second. So yeah, so the Nia thing. Then Cody runs into Jay backstage, lets him know that he's going to go alone on Friday, which he thinks is crazy. Now into this. Okay? Ricochet and Dirty Dom Dom was a good match. Ricochet is an agile puma, as mentioned, and Ricochet did defeat Dirty Dom, despite JD McNugget trying to interfere. Now, for whatever reason, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. Ricochet has a better build. He's more athletic, can do some really crazy moves. Incredibly talented. Like, it's beyond words. But for some reason, and I'm sure if I met him in real life, oh my God, I think he'd be great. But as a competitor, I have absolutely zero emotional attachment to him. I haven't bonded with him virtually. With his character. I just don't care about it. It sounds rude, but I'm not going to pretend to feel something I'm not feeling. He could just, like, quit now, and I'd be like, okay. So, anyways, right? Whereas, like, with Dirty Dom, I mean, not to make fun of him, he's got that mullet haircut. Doesn't exactly have a believable physique. Because Ricochet's a small dude, but look at his arms compared to the Dom's. Now, I know there's a bit of an angle thing there, but still. But I don't care. I still somehow adore. I'm invested emotionally. Not on a Cody Rhodes level. With Dom's character. Whereas I never connected with Ricochet. And you know what I mean? Like, it happens. But anyways, this was a nice match. Like I said, Ricochet is just not normal. He's such an amazing talent. Backstage, Sammy runs into Chad. And Sammy was praising Chad and said, oh, you know, this could have gone either way. But Chad was just like, stop it. Enough. And essentially just said, look, man, you just can't beat Gunther, and walks away. Oh, wow. Then Adam Pearce. What is going on here? Oh, yeah, okay. Adam Pearce in the ring calls out Sammy and Gunther for the official signing for the Intercontinental title match. There was no Imperium again, no cheap shots, no nothing. And I like that. The man can walk on his own. Great promo again between the two of them as well. As Gunther left the ring, he did not cheap Sammy from behind, even though Sammy called him back into the ring. And Gunther, just a monster on the mic again. And then backstage, Sammy walked by DIY, Miz, R-Truth, and the camera crew was following him. Then Indus Sher walked by, and Truth was all like, oh, good thing we ain't facing them. And Miz is like, the DIY, he's all like, shh. I'll tell him after. Because that's who they ended up facing after, right? Then they ended up following Truth and Miz to the ring. Indus Sher means Indian Tiger. And Sangha, if I pronounced that correctly, big lad on the left here, he's actually a real kickboxing champion. He's a Bollywood actor. Very talented. Him and, you know, I forget his name. I'm not going to pretend like I remember. I know that's Sangha. And I know that that's Jinder Mahal, because Jinder Mahal, oh man, I love that guy. But him there, I like them. That was my whole goddamn point. So, Awesome Truth ended up defeating Indus Sher, and it was funny. It was a good match. It was funny. It was entertaining for me, especially at the end when R-Truth gets elbowed, falls back, and ends up picking up the victory. And he's like, oh, we won. That's so good. That's so good. But yeah, this I really liked. And now that Awesome Truth is back together, like officially, like they actually came out as Awesome Truth. I think this is the first time since the last time they were together whereby they're actually introduced as a tag team. Anyhow, they defeated them, so they also move on now for the 6-pack ladder match at WrestleMania. But I could totally, and I know I might say this a lot, but I'm just saying. Like, if I could see the Creed brothers versus Indus Sher for the tag team belts, oh man, just flip a coin. It could go either way. It could really go either way. Yeah, I just have to remember his name. Veer Mahan. I had an epiphany. Veer Mahan. Love these guys. Really, really good. I think they're kind of underutilized. I want to see them more often. I just think they're great. I'm just going to move on now. So, Sammy ran into Chad again, asking him why he thinks he can't beat Gunther, and he told him, you know, you took me to my limit. Chad says, top-level superstar, but it's the mental game. It's not always about the physical game. Got to change his mindset. And then a quick backstage clip of CM Punk saying that he'll be at Mania 40. Naturally not to compete. I hope he does something. Commentary, whatever. The more Punk we get, the better. For me, at least. Obviously, I can't speak for everybody. Drew came out, and right after, Seth Rollins came out. And it was just a nice promo between the two of them. Like I said, Drew has grown incredibly versatile on the mic. Really, really good. It was just great. Simple as that. And again, you can watch it with the average 3-minute clips that WWE puts together on their website. They never ever make a video longer than 3 minutes unless it's The Rock, then you'll see the whole 22 minutes. His promos are longer than an entire South Park episode, I'm just saying, with equal amounts of diarrhea. Oh! 3 points for me. New Day face Alpha Academy, only this time it was not with Chad, because now it's Tozawa. I forget his first name. Akira Tozawa with Otis. And I thought this was cool. Seeing that dynamic between the two of them. Because like I said, Akira Tozawa, again, is another talent that you don't realize how good he is. Because he's not allowed to showcase full throttle how good he is. But the New Day defeated Alpha Academy. And they've also qualified now to move on to the six-pack ladder match at WrestleMania for the Tag Team Championship. Starting to have a lot of teams now. And it's okay for him to be a little goofy. The Tozawa character sometimes being goofy, like the whole Santina Morella shit. Sometimes I feel like it can hurt your character, depending on just how it's done. The Rock and Stone Cold, man, those guys were funny. But they were equally taken seriously. Tozawa, with how his persona is portrayed, a little bit harder to take him seriously. But I'm just saying. Kind of figured, with all due respect, that they weren't going to be the ones that win. Backstage, Cody and his dog, Pharaoh, are seen walking around. They quickly run into Seth. Seth's saying, oh, so one-on-one. And he's like, yeah, one-on-one. Becky versus Nia. That leg drop was something. And then you could see Pat McAfee. Oh, my God. I love this dude, man. Let me just talk about the match. So Becky, oh, I got a few. Hold on a second. My back was scratching me. It was driving me nuts, and I was looking for my back scratcher, and I can't find it. Okay. How much time do I got here? It's not like I'm on a clock or anything like that. Okay, so we're still recording, and my face didn't freeze like that, like it did the last time. So, Becky and Nia. This was a good match. I'm glad Becky won. She found her redemption. I think it's the first time she ever beats Nia Jax. It helps solidify, cement her character a little bit more. It helps from a storyline perspective when she faces Rhea. She is now an American citizen. She passed the test. So all these years she wasn't an American citizen. Some people might be like, oh, that's kind of weird. Well, not really. If you know anything about William Shatner, and him and I chat sometimes on Twitter, I am privileged and honored to say that. He's Canadian. William Shatner is 100% Canadian. Not a dual citizen, not American. He is literally 100% Canadian. You're allowed to do that. You can legally do that. But yeah, it's cool that now Big Time Bex is Big Time American Beck. And people were losing their shit online. I want to get a little political for a moment because it goes in line with what we see here. See, she recently went to the White House and celebrated St. Patrick's Day. She dropped off one of her biography books with Joe Biden. Now, hold on. Shh. Let's go, Brandon. Now people are going to lose their minds because I said that, because there's some fucking fragile people out there. So, to the overly sensitive people, I say this with 100% sincerity. Fuck off. Life is so short. There are more serious things to worry about, like where all the money is going, whether I'm in Canada or the US. Where's all that money going to, fund these wars? I'm not even going to say the words because that can get you a copyright strike. Stop funding other countries. You could talk about it. You don't need to get all wild about it. And you should be able to be like, well, I think it's a good idea because here's what it does. Oh, okay. Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't agree with you, but at least I see where you're coming from. And that's the world that we need to live in. Like now, like yesterday, tomorrow, and forever. Who? No, not who, because clearly a lot of people. Why care who the fuck she met up with? I don't give a shit if it's George Bush. I don't care if it was Elon Musk, Obama, Trump, Biden, the homeless guy down the street. I don't care. You should not either. Like as if people are losing their minds. I don't want to wear my Becky shirt anymore because she met with that. Like seriously? It's really, really just not that big of a deal. But anyhow, so that's done. The match was nice, like I said, and Nia Jax, even though, and that, you know, often like that. It would have been fine with me, honestly, either way for who would be facing Rhea. I don't think I would honestly care. I think she's improved. There's, you know, it's not like the women's roster is shrinking because of all the injuries, haha. Because that was the problem with Nia before. It was kind of like the whole Brie Bella thing. There was just a crazy amount of injuries, and that's, I think, why they let her go originally. Anyhow, Rhea came out, showed off her belt, and there was no confrontation. Not everything always has to lead into confrontation. And then that was it. And I was shocked. I was shocked, not because Rhea didn't attack Becky Lynch, but because I think this is the first time where Nia doesn't just come through and bulldozes through everybody, whether it's in the ring, backstage, or whatever. So there you have it. Enough rambling. Thumbs up if you liked the video. It does greatly help support the channel with the algorithm. A thumbs down if you didn't like it, and I'll bend it in half, twist it, and give you a solo Sakoan spike up in the rectum. And if you want to subscribe to the channel, I mean, obviously, that would be bloody fantastic now, wouldn't it? But if not, whatever. Life goes on. Thanks for stopping by anyways. Take care. And maybe, if I'm lucky, I'll see some of you in the next one. Bye for now.